Let me share widescreen. You guys can see the screen, right? So
Yes.
think of this is the consciousness. Think of this consciousness as a uh, blank, pure consciousness. There's nothing in it, correct? And then we have a very thin layer of aware consciousness. We need to kind of recognize this aware consciousness every time. This is my aware consciousness. And this aware consciousness is influenced by what is called the subconsciousness. This is all subconscious. And this subconscious, if I have to change the color for the subconsciousness, this subconsciousness is filled with, and by the way, this consciousness is always moving bottom and left. So this is the movement, right? It moves into the subconsciousness and it moves out of subconsciousness into the supraconsciousness. So if I call this is the subconsciousness. So anything below the layer of aware consciousness is subconsciousness. Anything above the layer of available consciousness is supraconsciousness. So we are moving into subconsciousness mostly, and we are moving into supraconsciousness through meditation. This aware consciousness can only expand. It can only expand when the subconsciousness is rid of all the impressions. So what are the impressions? So now here we have layers and layers of impressions are formed. If I make them as black spots. So there are layers and layers of impressions are forming on top of the subconsciousness. So there is all impressions filled with all our subconsciousness. And this is blocking the expansion of consciousness into, see, because the expansion of available consciousness can only can move up or down based on the impressions here. If these impressions are there, this available consciousness cannot expand. Number one point. And number 2 point is there is only one exercise we have to the mind. Like I said, mentioned it many times, even the most intelligent, intellectual person can only work from this available, thin available consciousness. They don't, no exercise, no mental exercise we are doing in our lives, which can expand this available consciousness. Because no exercise requires it to expand. The only case of meditation, in meditation, what happens is, in meditation, we somehow become, we are trying to understand this, the subtle essence, or the consciousness is trying to go inside, within. When this subtleness, this demands the consciousness to expand, because with the available consciousness, it cannot perceive that subtleness. So what is consciousness? So many times we talk about what is consciousness. Consciousness is nothing but aware, becoming aware of what it is connecting to, where its attention is going to. If the attention has to turn into itself, if the attention has to turn into itself, then it cannot work on this available consciousness. It has to expand. It has to expand. But this expansion is not allowed, because this expansion is bidirectional. It has to expand into subconsciousness. It has to expand into supraconsciousness. This expansion has to be bidirectional. But what is happening here in the down below subconsciousness, all these impressions won't allow the subconsciousness to expand. It won't allow. So these impressions, when they are cleaned, when they are cleaned, these impressions, when they are cleaned completely, then this available consciousness can expand. It can expand in both directions. It has to expand in both directions. So then this subconsciousness has to reduce as the available consciousness is expanding. You see this? So that means all the past impressions. So impressions are past only, right? There cannot be future impressions. So all impressions have to be removed for this consciousness to expand in meditation. So now you understand, without removing these impressions from the subconscious state, meditation, the real effect of meditation is useless, goes away. Because the real effect of meditation is expansion of this consciousness. It cannot expand unless the subconsciousness is free, free of impressions. So that is why we have to do the cleaning. I hope this aspect of cleaning now is becoming clear. So without cleaning, you can say there is no spiritual progress. So that important the cleaning becomes. And this is very unique to heartfulness. Without this uh, effort of this cleaning, I mean, all meditation, how much ever we meditate, it sort of doesn't yield the right result. Yeah, the mind becomes calm temporarily. See, this calmness which we are asking for, seeking for, is very temporary. All our life situations, including the result of the thoughts are coming because of impressions. Perceptions are because of impressions. Likes and dislikes are because of impressions. So pretty much, as long as these impressions are there, they are pretty much driving our life. As these impressions are removed, we can mold our life towards this higher essence, and we can actually mold in any way we want. And one more thing, and the most important aspect here, the important aspect here is as these impressions are governing our life, are pretty much dictating our life. Okay. As they are dictating our life, because of all these impressions over here are changing the vibratory pattern. It is changing this vibratory pattern of consciousness. But look at we talked about the intentions here, right? But this vibratory pattern, which is created by the impressions, pretty much manifesting our life. See, as our life is progressing, all the situations, everything, anything, everything happening in our life is because of consciousness manifesting. And this manifestation is what we call going through life. And if there is a vibrational pattern here, what it is doing? It is basically manifesting this life as per the impressions. All life situations, everything is changing. If I change my impressions here, my life pattern also changes. It becomes more conducive, more effective. It becomes clean, sort of. Okay. So not only it is allowing the expansion of consciousness by cleaning the impressions, our manifestation of the life is also changing. This is changing because we are cleaning the impressions. That means our life patterns, our life situation is changing. If you observe, there is a repetition of this pattern in our life. Same situations we go into, same, even if we change our jobs, even if we change our place, even if we change our relations, again we get into the same pattern in everything, in every which way. In relationships, we get into the same pattern. At the job, how we are treated, it's the same pattern. In our external, what I should say, external transactions or affairs or relationships with friends, with colleagues, with classmates, whomever you are acquainted with, even their attitude towards you, from one friend to another friend, it is the same. So that means the reactions of the people, how the people are treating us, solely depends on us. It's not on the people. We might blame the people, but it is depending on us. And what is creating that, manifesting that pattern is these are impressions. See how impressions are pretty much, governing and fixing our life. So by removing these impressions, we are creating a very conducive, very congenial atmosphere around us, harmonious atmosphere around us. So you see like how much the cleaning these impressions is helping us. All right. So I'll stop here before we get into any reading for any questions. Any questions? So Dhruvita, you are new. You have any questions? You're probably listening to it for the first time.
No, I understood.
Very good. All right.
Actually, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So cleaning is what really is one of the main things that really drew me to heartfulness, and I see the value of it. And I've been doing this for a few months, but there is, I guess, a strong impression in me that questions everything. And I mean, I feel like even meditation, cleaning is also a byproduct of regular meditation, right? For people who are not doing the actual cleaning, even meditation uh, would cause cleaning of the impression. I mean, would result in cleaning of impressions, right?
No.
No?
Meditation is not, it's not do any cleaning.
So my question, I guess, is that people who are not doing the actual cleaning the way
Mhm.
heartfulness teaches us, and I value it. I see the value in it. That's not what I'm questioning. But the people who are not doing it, isn't there an evolution? If the person is evolving, and another way of saying that is that I mean, that's the way I understand it. That the sanskars are getting dropped off, negativity complexes are getting dropped off, and that's how a person is evolving through meditation.
Right.
If someone just does pure meditation for many many years, wouldn't cleaning be also be a byproduct of that?
No.
Okay.
So that is why the cleaning has to be done as regularly as possible.
Okay.
So if you ask me, the most important thing to do very regularly without any fail is the prayer,
Okay.
bedtime prayer.
Mm-hmm.
This is number one on my list. I'll tell you when we come to prayer later. And number two on my list is cleaning.
Okay.
Do this as regularly as possible.
Okay.
And number three on my list is meditation.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So this is the order I put. So why meditation cannot do the cleaning? Because in meditation, we are start off in an absorbing mode. We become a witness to the inner essence. Okay. So
Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
okay. So in the here in the absorbing mode, really we become a witness. See,
Okay.
in Sanskrit, we have this word, drashta.
Mm-hmm.
A rishi, they say, is a mantra drashta. Drashta means the one who is seeing. The one who is seeing,
Yes, witness.
witness.
So, Shrikant, in my case, for me, meditation is like Sharnagati because the devotional aspect comes in. So that's where, for me, meditation is like a big part of it is really Sharnagati and surrendering to the Supreme. Is that wrong?
No, I mean, that is one aspect. But see, what happens is because I become a witness, This is the key thing in meditation. And when I become a witness, what happens is that divine essence within. So that's where I'm going with this meaning of drashta. The one who is seeing what? So if I am seeing, I'm seeing all the time. I'm perceiving the world all the time. So my seeing is away from myself. If this is the self,
Mhm.
all seeing is away from myself. I'm always seeing away from myself.
Yes.
That doesn't become seeing in a spiritual context. So seeing is the self itself. This seeing the self is called drashta, witness. The seeing the world away from me, or basically in the drashta, I am seeing that which is seeing the entire world. So that is the self. So
Okay.
drashta is about seeing the self. Okay. In
Yes,
seeing the
thank you.
self, this seeing the self is means perceiving the self. And who is helping to perceive anything to start with is the consciousness. Consciousness is the one which is seeing. This is all consciousness which I have drawn in these boxes, right?
Mhm.
If this consciousness is distorted, what you are seeing is also distorted. So the seeing the self and seeing the external world is through through this distorted consciousness. So in a way, whatever the Sharanagati, all the assumptions we are making about meditation, the reason we are talking about Sharanagati is because we want to make some extra effort. We want to run extra mile here with the
Okay.
Sharanagati.
Mhm.
It is what is causing that Sharanagati. If you see in a way, I am not feeling the seeing is complete.
Okay.
My consciousness knows whatever you are seeing is not complete.
Mhm.
So you want to bring in that extra emotion. You want to add that extra sugar
Mhm.
to make it tasty. That is why we talk about Sharanagati.
Wow, that's beautifully explained. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
But does that Sharanagati helps? Not really.
Okay.
Because your Sharanagati is already distorted.
Okay.
So when I make it clean, when we connect with this self, it feels complete. When you feel complete, you feel it's a surrenderness is a state. Sharanagati is a state. Sharanagati is not an act.
Mhm.
We don't realize that. We think Sharanagati is an action. Surrendering is an action, but it is not that. It is not an action. It is not a mental connection. It is not a mental emotion. It is a state of being. For that state of being to happen, that for state of being to be complete, this consciousness has to be clean of impressions, clear of impressions. So cleaning is a method we have to apply. Got it?
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay. All right. So let's now.
Srikant bhai, just a small question I have. Um, can you tell me, like, is it also recommended that to do cleaning at the same time, like meditation on same place, something like that, or we can also do at the bedtime?
See, we already have some activities planned for bedtime.
Okay.
So it is always good to do meditation, cleaning, when you kind of say that you're resigning for the most of the daily activities. So, I mean, typically when we completely resign from all the activities is, when we, before we sit for dinner, that means I'm sitting for dinner means most of my activities are done typically. Or for someone, okay, I have to do my dishes after dinner, right? Then your last activity is probably doing dishes. I mean, major activity. So after doing the dishes, we might watch TV or we might read a book or do something, correct?
Right.
So before watching the TV or book or whatever, do the cleaning.
Okay. Okay.
After the
Great.
cleaning, there is a sufficient time for your bedtime prayer and
Oh,
then your, inner connection and then going to bed.
okay. So it is okay to have like different timings. Suppose I'm having dinner sometimes maybe late. It is okay to do cleaning little late before or after, right?
So, I mean, yes and no. In spirituality, all questions have yes and no answer. Okay.
Okay.
So if you fix your time is the best because the all your system is prepared for it. If you fix your time, it becomes a routine.
Mm.
But if you
Okay.
cannot fix your time, that is okay. So there is no hard rule.
Mm-hmm.
So fixing your time is little more effective than doing at different random times.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So I didn't see the questions. Okay. Keshri is not able to hear. So Keshri, can you hear it now?
Yes, brother.
Okay. So we have Rajani sister joined. Rajani, are you there?
Yes, brother. Namaste.
Namaste. So would you be able to conduct the session today?
Brother, I am not a preceptor, but my husband is also joining with me. He can conduct.
Sure.
His name is Rao.
Rao. Yes. Yeah, I remember. So Rao
Yeah.
garu, would you be able to conduct the session today? We are almost 8:30. Yeah.
Yes, brother.